People who don't like me don't stop my praise. The enemy is doing the absolute best he can to discourage you and to whip you to make you feel like you're not gonna make it to your next. Do I have a witness in here? Because you don't need to be around somebody that's intimidated about your future. You don't need to be sitting by somebody that's jealous of what God's getting ready to do. If you are discouraged that that yoke tonight has been broken, I come tonight with a prophetic declaration that there is nothing that shall be able to stop you from getting to the place that God has ordained for you to be. Whatever is standing before you, it has no power. Tell them you are unstoppable.
When I tell you, say tonight's show is a scary one, you might not believe me. You might not believe me. You notice what time I actually start the program tonight? A whole 40 minutes late. And the guest tonight said, my brother, I kind of expected this. I seriously expected this. That they would have been trying to stop me from talking about the situation tonight. And him said to me, say, my brother, they are actually listening right now. They are actually on the line as I'm about to share this tonight. And I will tell you this, Unstoppable family. For those of you who saw that the program started, well, I attempted to start the program earlier and then had to end it because Uno never did hear nothing. But yet there was absolutely nothing wrong with the system. There was nothing at all off with the audio on this end. I went through every single thing and everything was set up the way it normally set up. And the guest said to me, say, my brother, I expected this. So it's kind of weird, kind of strange, kind of freaky, kind of scary. But we are going to hear what's going on tonight and see if it's truly those things tried to stop the program from going on tonight. But you know we name Unstoppable for a reason. Nothing can stop we, right? Yeah. So good night, Unstoppable family. How is everybody doing tonight? Big up to Facebook, big up to YouTube, big up to everybody that is here tonight. If you have not shared out the program as yet, share it out right now. And most definitely because of, you know, we get cut off a little bit earlier. So, you know, say most people probably not even know, so we're back on right now. So share out the show for me and get it out there to more persons. All right. Now listen, we have a guest tonight that is going to be sharing his situation, right? And you can see from the title that it's one of those experiences, right? But before we introduce the guest, I'm going to make sure that I pay the credit to the sponsors. I'm not going to take too long because as you can see we start late, but we have to do this and make sure say we pay the credit to the sponsor. So as you all know already, Slam IPTV is a continued sponsor for the Unstoppable show, right? And with Slam, you can get channels from all around the world. No matter where you are, you can get TV channels from Slam. We're talking about all the best high quality channels, right? HBO, Cinemax, Fox, Lifetime, for those of you who like those channels, Sci-Fi, all of them. Anything you want, you can reach out to Slam and get it from them. And the number is 647-858-4337. You can reach them via WhatsApp, or you can reach them straight, right? And also you can check out their social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook at slam_IPTV. Now remember, me always tell you, no, say even though Slam monthly prices is extremely like cheap, the yearly package is the best deal, because even with the yearly package, it's even the money even cut down even less. I ain't have to worry about nothing. You just pay one time and that you have your channel to watch straight through. All right, now we are gonna do the long talking. Done with that, and introduce the guest to tonight's program, because as me say, this one is a very interesting one, and me don't start late. So remember the rules of the platform. You are never allowed to be disrespectful. You are never allowed to call my guest outside their name. You're never allowed to call anybody no fool, no dunce, no jackass, or anything like that, or you will be blocked. Just remember that you have been warned. All right, now with that out of the way, Carla, good night again. How are you?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm good, my brother. A little bit kind of scared, but you know, we are gonna hear what go on.
I told you. I tried to tell you, man.
Listen,
Real, bro.
I this one have me puzzled, because I was here for the longest, as you hear me telling the viewers just now, that trying to figure out why they can't hear anything when the audio is perfectly fine on this end. But you know, they're hearing us now. Let me make sure I confirm. If you're not here right now, send some hearts in at the chat. Let me make sure I say you're not here we and the audio is good on your end, so that Una can hear the guest tonight before him get into what he's about to share. So Facebook, send up some hearts. YouTube, send up some hearts in the comment section, and let's make sure that everybody is hearing loud and clear, so that we can actually get this program started tonight. Because the caller actually has a mouthful. When we say it's a mouthful, it's a mouthful. Him have a lot to share tonight about this situation. Him give me a little rundown on it, and him all right, the heart's coming out. My general, the show is all yours right now. Go right ahead and tell us what's going on from the very beginning. Go right ahead.
Okay, well, I met this girl via I think it was career. It was on a dating website. We hit it off for, I would say, for like a month, and then we kind of got serious during that time. Now, this is right before the pandemic hits, mind you. So this is 2019 November. Okay, so this is right before the pandemic is about to take, the world. We all know how that went. So November, we begin talking via like email, and then 3 or 4 days in, she gives me her number. We start conversating through the phone, and we shared a lot of the same interests. So we hit it off right away, and into December, the reports of COVID coming in, this and that. That is, we roll into January. The relationship is still going strong. Everything was like almost picture perfect. I fell in love with her. I'm almost sure she fell in love with me. But around 8th or 9th month, I would say in July.
Okay, just for some clarity, for those listening, you say you met this person on a dating website. No, this is a Jamaican female in Jamaica. You're not from Jamaica, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a Jamaican female in Jamaica, and you're not Jamaican. All right. Yes. So those of you who didn't get that part, go right ahead, my brother.
Yeah. So during that time, like I said, I had just been laid off from work, so we were talking 7 days a week, 8 hours a day, for about a good 4 or 5 months. And she was going to school at the time over there. She was actually in one of the universities out there, and she was going to school. I was collecting unemployment at the time, and so we just had a lot of time to talk and get to know each other. And like we said, we talked a lot. Like I said, 7 days a week, 6 to 8 hours a day. I felt I was in love with her. I cannot lie about that. Everything was going good up into July. Now, when like June, July, she starts suggesting that we fall asleep on the phone together. Um, I had no problem with that because it was like, we're far away from each other. It's kind of gushy, like high school stuff. But whatever makes a woman happy, you know. So I figured, yes, why not? Um, and I live in a fairly rough neighborhood, so I was falling asleep with her on the phone, and I was hearing my name. Now, when I heard my name, it wasn't like someone like my mom or my brother or anybody like that, calling out my name. It was like uh, very, very raspy, not very familiar. So I would wake because I was a light sleeper because of the neighborhood I lived in, and I would wake up and I would just kind of just like, never thinking about the phone. I always thought that was coming from outside somehow. So I would just like, generally go back to sleep. Then around July 21st, I know the date exactly because it was so crushing to me. I she was at a neighbor's house doing bingo. I remember talking to her. She said that she would call me when she got home. She was going to help the neighbors clean up, and she took a little bit longer than usual. Um, I wasn't mad or anything. I just kind of like took it to note. When she got home, we were talking, and she started getting tired, and she's like, "Well, hey, we went through the whole routine. She just fell asleep with the phone by her, and being that we're like, I'm on the Pacific Coast, so she's roughly 3 hours ahead of me, right? So she's already asleep. It's still like roughly like 7, 8 o'clock where I'm at. Um, I'm watching the show with the phone by me, and I start hearing what sounds like okay. Have you ever heard a fan doing it's like going side to side, like sometimes it lets like a squeaky noise, depending on how the quality of the fans you're using. But I kept hearing a voice intertwined with the fan. Now I have like very, very, very good hearing. I don't know what it is, for what it's worth, but I could swear I was hearing something. So I would slowly like turn down TV and just kind of like listen, and then I was almost sure that I was hearing something, right? I then paid my full attention to what was going on. It took me about 5, 10 minutes of me just kind of like listening, but it sounded like she was having like intercourse with somebody. Now, when I say intercourse, it was like I would hear this thing, which sounded like a man, and it was uh, coinciding with the fan. So whenever the fan would come in, you know how the fan goes side to side, but as the fan would come back, I could hear come, 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 and I thought that was. I caught it the first time, and I was like, that's not what a fan sounds like. And then it would go back, come, 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 come. Now, this did it a couple times. Then when it got periodic, I started hearing her voice. I started hearing her like it sounded like somebody exasperating in ecstasy, like kind of like you know. And being that I talked with her for like 7 days a week, 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours a day, I knew whose voice that was. There was no mistaking whose voice that was. So me being a guy, and not trying to be too over jealous, was thinking like maybe it's just a fan. She's having a dream, whatever. Just let it be, right? Well, I started listening in more intently, and the fan and the voice are now not mixing in. So when the fan's coming by, the voice is totally off. So I'm hearing the fan come by, but then I'm hearing come, 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 come later. And then I hear her say, wait, like that. And that alarmed me. I was like, okay, I heard that. So I immediately ran and got a recorder, set it by the phone, and because I was gonna doze off eventually, just to be sure. So I wound up dozing off because I had to go to work the next morning, and I woke up and my phone had I think my phone had died or it had hung up, something to that effect. And I remember pressing rewind and play on what I recorded, and I was like, wow, no way. I could not believe what I was hearing. Now, what it sounded like she was having intercourse with somebody on the phone. I swear it was. But in between, when she thought that they were being heard, she would say like, wait, 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 you know? And I was thinking like, there's no wait. This first my heart like shattered into a million pieces because we had been talking for like close to 8 months. We were talking like I mean 7 days a week, 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours a day we were talking. So like we pretty much, knew each other pretty well. And I was thinking like, wow, we were like getting we were heading towards serious, man, like marriage, me flying out there and meeting her family and everything. And everything just came to a screeching halt when I heard this. So I played it back and I went through the whole thing again. Mind you, I have to go to work. So I'm very distraught. I'm like, man, this is not happening. No way. There's no way. There's gotta be an explanation for this. So we were talking via WhatsApp. I wrote an email to WhatsApp and asked them, this is my situation. What do you think the problem could be? So, they didn't respond right away, of course. So I went to work. Upon getting to work, well, actually, maybe rewind that. Upon hearing the tape for the second time, I immediately called her. She didn't answer the phone. As this was going on, actually, I was calling out her name, and that's why I avoided this because I didn't want to really say anybody's name. But I was calling out her name, and she wasn't responding. So upon hearing the tape that I recorded, I texted her, and I was pretty angry. So I read, it wasn't too like damning. It was just like, who the hell is that? What's going on? I need answers, yada yada yada. Upon arriving at work, she calls me. Now she's very irate. She's like, "What are you talking about? How dare you accuse me of this? Where I live with my uncle, he's very strict. He would never allow anybody in the house anyways. What is your problem?" And I told her, I heard what I heard, and she said, well, send me like your audio or whatever. I'm not, I sent her like a little piece of audio. It wasn't, I was at work. I was very distraught. I sent her like a little, maybe like a minute or so of the audio. And I went back to work, and, we were texting in between, breaks and, in between my work. And she just vehemently denied everything, And I was like, there's got to be something to this. My heart's telling me there's something to this. That is your voice. There's no mistaking it. So after work, I go home and I believe I called her, and immediately we start arguing. And around that time, I get a message from WhatsApp, and they're telling me there's no way that somebody could have hacked your account. They sent me a bunch of files. I don't know what those files mean because I'm not computer savvy, but they're saying because of the end-to-end encryption, there's no way that my phone or her phone could have been hacked. So there was no way that I could have received another transmission from somewhere outside the neighborhood or in the neighborhood or whatever. I told her, hey man, this is what WhatsApp sent me. Well, she's very distraught. She's very angry. She's in denial. She has her mother call me or just send me a message actually, and really talk to her. I talked to her aunt who she was living with. Her aunt said there's no way her husband, the girl's uncle, was not going to allow any man in the house. He's very strict. So then I'm thinking, well, then what is that? she has her friends. Now, mind you, she's in the music business as well. So I'm thinking that she would take this to one of her producer friends, and have it put on a board, and he would break it down or whatever. But she never did. She was just telling me like, that's the fan. She had some of her friends listen to the audio, and then she sent me the reply of what her friend said. Now, I was so just like, oh man, I didn't know what to do because I was in love with her. I heard what I heard, but yet, it was very how do you say, not so much confusing. I was just very like, just, I had too much going on in my mind to think like, what if this is me? What if I wasn't sleeping? What if I heard something? But upon hearing the tape again, I played it for her. Me and her sat. I called her, and we sat through it. And certain things she didn't want to listen to. So I thought that was awkward, but she was just like, no, that she immediately dismissed it. Now, she wound up going to Google, asking Google a bunch of questions. She sent me some emails that Google sent her. In the end, like an idiot, I went for, I believed what my heart was telling me and not my mind, But maybe she's right. Maybe this is all just BS, whatever. Down the road, I would say, so we're in July right now. So July, August. In August, the flight ban is lifted for COVID. I plan a trip out to Jamaica to meet her family, do the whole 9 yards. We're gonna get married in September. Now, she had just been like for what she had a family dispute at her house. She got kicked out. She was living with her aunt at one point. Then she moved to another aunt in Portmore. Then she wound up getting a place with one of her friends. When she was at that place with her friends, I believe it was late August, early September, and I was set to fly out there in late September, like around the 26th or 27th or something like that. There was something in my mind, like I was supposed to call her, and something in my mind kept like just hammering at me, just saying, "Whatever you do, please record your conversation with her tonight." And I always thought, like, okay, well, whatever. So I wound up doing that, right? She's staying with her friend, the 2-bedroom place, from what I understand. Again, we're on the phone. Oh, she falls asleep, and because she's on a later time schedule, I'm still awake. Well, I start hearing on her end of the phone what sounds like 2 people in a room in the far corner standing behind a fan. They're trying to be as quiet as they can, but I can tell that it sounds like they're being very like cryptic and very like low key. So that makes me like want to listen more. Now, like I said before, we had talked all this time, so I'm very familiar with her voice. Upon like listening and very intently and very closely, I recognize her voice. So immediately, hey, what's going on? I can hear you guys. And whoever she was talking to immediately says, he can hear us. And then I hear her say, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Wait
and
a
I'm
minute.
like, yeah, I can hear you.
So the voice you heard that asks her if he can hear us, that's a male's voice or a female's voice?
It was a male's voice, sir. Yes.
It was a male's
It was a male's
voice. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
So, I mean, I hear, oh my God, and then I start arguing with the male. Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Are you with this person? Right away I want to know what's going on, right? And it sounds like he stepped forward, like out of from wherever he was hiding, and I can hear him pretty clearly, right? And me being angry, I'm like talking at him, and I'm like, well, who the hell are you anyways? Well, he's like, who am I? And then he's about to, tell me who he is. But then this girl, I almost said her name. This girl, she supposedly snaps out. She's having a dream. She snaps out of a dream, and I hear her say my name. And I'm like, what? And she says, hey, I was having a dream. And I immediately stood back from the phone. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here? She's trying to play me, right? She got caught, and now she's claiming to be having a dream all of a sudden, So I kind of like sit back. I don't get too angry. Now she has me peculiar. I'm like, where are you gonna go with this? You just got busted. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see how you're gonna try to get out of this. So, let game on, right? So she tells me, oh my gosh, I had this dream where I was being tossed around in my room, and I couldn't breathe, but I woke up and I'm really scared right now. And I was kind of just, okay, let's see. I served the purpose for investigation. I said, okay, tell me what's wrong, babe. You need any help? But in the back of my mind, I'm going, all right, come on, man. You're better than this, She tells me, I'm very scared. I'm going to go to my roommate's room, and I'm going to tell her what's going on because I don't feel safe here. So I was like, sure, whatever. I hear her, she's with me on the phone. As she enters her roommate's room, she sets the phone down, right? So I can hear her like going into the room and then talking. I can't read, I can't understand what they're saying, but I can hear them talking. All of a sudden, her roommate lets out laughter. Now, laughter as in you got caught, like a matter of fact laughter. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like mocking laughter. Like, I knew this was gonna happen type of laughter, So I was like, oh man, it's a matter of time for this whole scene to unfold, and she's gonna, get busted. She's with a guy, yada yada yada. Her roommate started laughing, so she comes back to the phone, and she tells me, I'm so scared, and I asked her, why did you put the phone down before you went into the room? I've been with you this whole time. She's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. So all this is being noted, right? So I'm like, okay, let's see what your next phase is, because I'm pretty sure that she's just doing this ear by the ear, going by a whim. So she tells me, I have a cousin in the UK, and she knows how to deal with these things. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I think there's some kind of spirit in the house. So I was like, okay, that's the route you're going. Really? You're gonna really go there. Okay. You know what? Let's see where you go with this.
All right, let me ask you. All right, so she is saying that she feels like there's some kind of spirit in the house. At that point in time, right? Were you thinking it was spirits, or you was thinking it was another man?
No.
What were you thinking?
I'm thinking she got caught cheating, and she's trying to find a way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking like, okay, you got busted, and now you are trying to scramble any which way to find a measure of getting out of this.
All right.
You're gonna blame this on whatever you can.
Before you continue, I'm seeing a lot of you viewers saying that she got game and she busted and all of that. But as he goes further into what he's sharing, you will understand what he is getting into. There's a whole lot more to it. So don't jump to conclusions yet, listeners. There's a whole lot more to it. Trust me. We're at the 30-minute mark, my brother. Take a little water break. I'm going to come right back to you in a few seconds. I see a few persons jumping out saying they're new here. Welcome to the Unstoppable Live program. Family, please welcome all the newbies here that's here for the very first time tonight. We are glad that you are here. If you have not shared out the program as yet, share it out right now. That would be appreciated. Get some more persons to jump on and listen in on tonight's show. All right. I want to say thank you to the persons that contributed to tonight's show so far. It is appreciated. I saw where Elizabeth sent in a ZELLE contribution. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that contribution. It is much appreciated. And Marsha Lee sent in a CASHAPP contribution. It is appreciated. And over here on PayPal, we had Raquel sent in a PayPal contribution. Thank you so much, Raquel. It is appreciated. All right, viewers, if you would like to contribute to the program, the information is right there on the screen. ZELLE, CASHAPP, PayPal, and also Super Chat on YouTube is appreciated. All right, now listen, we're going to get back to the program because as you already know, I started late, so we're not going to hold it up too much longer. We're going to get back, but listen, like I said, it gets even more interesting, so don't jump to conclusions yet. All right, guest, let's go. All right, but before you even continue, I want to ask you a question. You can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, viewers, I have to ask him this question. Prior to the show starting, I had him on the phone line waiting for me to start the program. And I could have heard him talking to someone. And he was calling the person's name. I got a little bit baffled and confused because I'm trying to figure out who he was talking to. I went back on the line and I asked him if he's having a conversation with someone in the room. And tell them what you said to me, my brother.
I said, no, I'm talking to her. Yeah, because they're online. They're online as we speak.
All right, we're gonna stick it right there. We're gonna, but before we even stick it, because I heard you asking the person, what do you want me to do? What do you want?
Yeah.
What is it that was being said to you for you to be saying, what do you want me to do? What was being said to you?
This has gone on for quite some time. Now, this has gone back and forth and back, and it's like the threats that they make upon you. But like I said, my reasoning is, what would you do? What would you have me do? That's what I'm saying. What would you have me do? Just cower in the corner and you have your way with me, and then for me, no, that's not going to work. I know who I am. And you're not going to do that. Not going to do that. So, in a sense, I'm not like so much like contemplating or talking with them. I'm just throwing up my arms, like saying, like, well, what would you do? That's where the relationship is at.
Yes, Kizzy, he's actually saying that the spirit's actually on the line and listening and having a conversation with him while he's here having the conversation with us. But we're not going to jump to gun. Continue from where I stopped you, my brother. Continue.
Okay.
You said she told you that she felt like there are spirits in the house. Continue.
Right. So she says, I have a cousin in the UK that knows about this stuff. Let me call her and I'll call you back. Now, on my end, it's like 3, 4 in the morning. I didn't. I'm laughing to myself because I'm saying, okay, she got busted. She's on the phone trying to get any means of trying to soften this. She's trying to find a way out. So as far as I'm concerned, I think she's just trying to play me, right? So within like 10 minutes, her cousin calls me and tells me who she is, and then gives a brief history about herself. But in giving a brief history about herself, she's pretty much a grifter. She was very prominent in Jamaica during a certain time in Kingston. She was known to be on the hustle, and she lives in the UK right now. So I'm thinking like, okay, so you got chased out of Jamaica and you're living in the UK right now because you probably burned a lot of people. So she's kind of telling on herself. But so it's like, okay, go on with your story. And then she builds up her cousin, who I was seeing at the time, whatever you want to call it, and just boosts her up. She's a great person, Well, she's very like not vague, but just it's like they don't talk much. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like this person used her cousin on a whim. You know what I'm saying? So her cousin goes on and tells me what she has, I believe, attached to her is a spirit husband. Now, I did a little bit of research, and that's pretty much an incubus or succubus, which means it's a demon, right? So I'm like, okay, sure, we'll go with this. Why not? You know. In the end, I'm like, let's just get this over with. Let's see what they got, and then once I hear when the BS gets too high, I'm just gonna call it out. Like, all right, you guys, enough. Enough. So her cousin, there was, and the other thing was there was no real urgency with her cousin. And mind you, her cousin, my girlfriend at the time, they're supposed to be really close. Now, the way she said it, like, oh, she's possessed and this and that, and I'm like, okay, well, that sounds like it's pretty like life threatening. But her cousin was just like, well, I'm just gonna go do what I have to do and I'll get back to you. And I'm like, well, isn't this kind of urgent? She said, no, she'll be fine. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. So I waited about another 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then it was me, my girlfriend, and her cousin. We're on a three-way call, right? And she says that what Shauna what she has is a spirit husband, and that we need to get rid of it. So we need to start praying. She starts reciting verses, and she says the verse and has me repeat it. Then she says the verse and has my girlfriend repeat it. So till we're all in unison with repeating this verse of the Bible, her roommate is holding her roommate. Her roommate is holding the phone. Mind you, her roommate's holding the phone. Now, when we start reciting these biblical verses, my girlfriend starts coughing like hysterically, like she has hot pepper in her throat, like, and it's almost like comical to me. It was almost comical. I was just like, come on, man, really?
But why
and,
why did you have to be on the line repeating the verses and all of that?
Only because she said that I was very close to her, and that if this thing was if it needed to be defeated, it needed people that were close to her and loved her to defeat it, in essence, So I just went along with it. I'm telling you, I thought it was just they got busted. She's trying to find a way out. She called somebody on a whim. Now she's trying to dig herself out of it.
All right, now viewers, listen. Now that right there that they were supposedly having was some kind of exorcism on the phone. No, that's what they were supposedly doing. No,
right.
My reason for asking him that, why is it that he needed to be on the line, is if they're having an exorcism, whatever that may be, right? Why is it that he needs to be on the line repeating whatever scriptures or verses the cousin is reading off? That would sound like some kind of transference thing them a try plan up. But as him get further, I'm not gonna understand why I said that. Continue, my brother.
Oh wow, I really never took that into mind. So I was we were all doing the verse, and her roommate's holding the phone because my girlfriend starts going to a violent cough. She's on the floor coughing while her roommate's holding the phone to her, and her cousin says, what's going on? What's going on? And in the most like blandish, like she just wants to be in bed, go to sleep. She's like, so and so is on the floor and she's coughing really loud, like so mundane and just so just so out of it. And I thought, wow, you should have given more effort if you're gonna help out your friend, And it's just like I would have been like, cut. Can we start that scene again, please? A little bit more emotion in that, And I'm laughing to myself because I'm thinking like, oh man, they just got busted, and they're all trying to get out of it, And this roommate is not having it. She wants to go back to bed, and she wants nothing to do with this. So we finish up with her cousin speaking in tongues on the phone, and it just sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo. And to top it all off, her cousin's not even a priestess of any kind. She never really she knows biblical verses, but she doesn't really know. Like, she's not a priestess, or she's not any kind of like she has no hierarchy in her church or whatever. Something like, wow, this is crazy. I've never heard an exorcism over the phone. So I was kind of just like, I was humorized by all this. I was just like, wow, they're really trying to pull this off. So my girl was able to sustain it, get back up, and gather herself. So now it is me, her, and her cousin talking through it on the phone. Right now, when she was doing this, speaking in tongues and reciting biblical verses, I could hear what it sounded like a male voice. Now, it sounded like the male voice had some kind of special effects pedal with them, and I could see, where they're trying to get this. Maybe they got it from a distortion pedal. I don't know, but I could hear the thing going, no, no, and it was fading out. And I was like, wow, that's pretty good. If anybody hit it off, it was that guy. That guy's the only one that performed a decent acting job in this whole mishap. I hear that dude's voice again, but as all three of us are talking. Now, the voice comes on it like in a rush, and it's laughter. It's very, very like kind of laughter you hear from a movie film. And I was kind of, that's awkward. And then it calls my name. It calls me out. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. They got my name, whatever. And it says, I'm gonna get you. I know who you are. I know who you live. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then it gets really, really loud to the point where her cousin and her should have been disrupted by this. How loud this thing was.
You said you heard the voice saying, I'm going to get you. I know you are.
Coming for you. You can't hide. Just threatening stuff. And I was like, yeah, whatever. This is part of the act. But kind of raised my eyebrow was like, the thing was so loud, it should have disrupted the conversation between the two cousins. And I was kind of like, well, okay, they didn't hear that. And then so the thing says something to the effect of like, we're coming. And then I immediately jump in like, yeah, whatever, man, come bring it. I don't, you ain't gonna. My neighborhood's pretty jacked up, so if you step through, like, you're gonna get. We're arguing, and then immediately my girlfriend says, "Who are you talking to?" And I was like, "You can't hear that voice?" And she's like, "I don't have any idea what you're talking about." And I was like, "What?" And then that thing starts laughing. Ha ha ha! I'll see you later. I'm coming for you. And I was just like, whatever. They're all in on the same thing, but it's still kind of like staying in my brain, like. This thing yelled so loud that it should have disrupted that conversation. And I was like, okay, whatever. Her cousin says, I have to go, whatever she does with her life. My girlfriend says, I feel better now. And I'm like, oh, just like that. Everything got cured in a matter of 45 minutes. How awesome. I guess so. The thing's gone and it's cured, right? And her cousin says, praise Jesus. And I'm like, wow, you've never performed an exorcism before in your life. And that went pretty well. As far as I'm concerned, exorcisms really never go that well. From anything that anybody's seen, it's like, and she's never really, I don't know. From what I understand, she's not a priestess of any kind. So I was just like, all right, well, me and my girl are talking, and I'm gonna keep hearing this thing making threats on me, and I'm pretty hot-tempered, so me and this thing are arguing. And my girl's saying, who are you talking to? She keeps saying that. Who are you talking to? And I was like, what are you talking about? You can't hear that. Like, I so wanted to say, just give it up. I can hear your boy talking, making threats. Why don't you just admit it?
All right, let me highlight something to the listeners. No, you remember when I asked him, why is it that he had to be on the phone for this? No, do you hear what he is saying? He is now arguing with this voice back and forth because the voice is now threatening him, right? After the so-called exorcism, right? Now he is constantly in an entanglement with this voice after the exorcism. Right. Continue, my brother.
Mm-hmm. So then I hang up with her. I have to get to work, so I immediately just think I don't have time for shower because I'm late. I go down to get dressed, hop in my car. I'm late, so I dial to work, and as soon as it hits the ring tone, this thing comes on the phone, and it starts laughing at me. I hear laughter, and I'm like, what the heck? And it's like, oh, you thought you could, just threatening me. You thought you could escape. I told you I'm coming for you. This and that. I'm like, well, how the hell did you get this? Because I'm kind of baffled by it. I'm like, what are you doing? And it's like, you don't know where I am, this and that. And I was like, whatever. So I remember like calling my girl and saying, hey, what the heck's going on? And then she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, this thing is still around. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't feel nothing. And I'm like, look it. When I interrupted your dream, quote unquote, I heard two people talking in your room. Now this thing comes on the phone as I'm describing to her, and it says, "You want to know who I am?" And I was just like, I kind of was like yeah, whatever. And it just screams like a megaphone in my ear. And at that point, I was like, fudge! I just got marked by something. I felt it in my heart. I felt it in everything. I'm like, something just marked me. And I immediately hung up. I called her cousin, and upon calling her cousin, as soon as her cousin picked up, this thing's on the phone again. I told you can't escape me. And I was like, what are you still doing here? I'm like, hey, I can hear this thing. It's still around. She's like, no, it's not. I'm like, I can hear it. Can't you hear it? And she's like, no, I can't hear anything. Darian, say your prayers. And I was just like, what? Say your prayers. Just don't be stupid and say your prayers. And I was like, okay, so that's the only advice you're going to give me? I'm like, I could use some better advice. What am I supposed to do? This thing's still all attached to me, I believe. It's still coming at me. And she says, just do what I say your prayers, and praise God. Quick, she hangs up.
Catherine wants to know if you only hear this voice on the phone, or do you also hear the voice when you're...
From what I have, I've actually had to go in to study this stuff, and I really didn't want to, but they're water spirits. Now, when I take a shower, when I use water, when I'm around water, these things taunt you and they mock you.
Mm.
So I'm anytime I take a shower, they're there. When I'm on the phone, they're there. As we speak, they're on the phone.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean they're pretty much like.
Was there any point where your girlfriend actually ever said to you that she heard this voice as well?
Okay, so the crazy thing was like, so she's now back in the apartment. I mean, so go forward. From that point on, me and her, our relationship kind of got a little bit, strained. We didn't talk as much, only because whenever I called her from that point on, it got really, really bad. Like we would be having conversations, and all of a sudden the phone would just cut out. Or if we got, really talking, and we were talking like, "Oh, I love you," that got really like mushy. This thing would come in and it would disrupt, and it would sound. This is what I brought this because this is what it would sound like. But with that wrinkling and you could hear the audible. You could hear the audible coming. Like, no, don't go with him. He's whatever. Just totally just like slandering me for whatever reason, right? So I was just like, what the heck's going on here? Now it got so bad that I could not walk from my bedroom to the bathroom without something coming up in my ear and going, "Hey," or saying my name. When I went to work, I operate with heavy machinery. These things would work their way into the machinery and call my name. It got so bad that people started to notice at work. So I was just kind of just like, yeah, it was really weird. It was really weird. Because I had a couple of friends that I worked with kind of look at me all like, what the hell, and it got pretty kooky there for a minute. So, mind you, things are going really, really crazy crazy at my house. My nephew who's living with me at the time, it keeps telling me that there's something in the bathroom, and that he's seeing this shadowy figure in the bathroom. And I was like, well, you know what? I'll try my best to figure it out. But like I said, every time I use water or take a shower, this thing was there. When I went to work, this thing was there. When I used the phone, this thing was there. And it's constantly on the phone, just like berating me, slandering me, just talking. And I would tell my girl, you don't hear this? And she would vehemently deny it. No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, one day, we're video calling between me and her sister is in the room, and I noticed that her sister has not looked up the whole time that we're talking. Now, me and her are talking, and then it gets kind of like kind of get lovey-dovey, and then all of a sudden I hear this thing coming into the phone call, and it's really, really angry, and it's like it gets so bad that she has to hold the phone above her head. Now, when she brings the phone back down, I have a view of her because we're doing a video call, and I watch one of her eyeballs just go straight looking at me and all the way to the side, and it starts fluttering, and she literally has to hit her head to knock it back. Now, I've sent you the recordings that I have. I know you can't really hear exact, but I can, and you can hear something there. There's something there. She's had these conversations without me knowing, without knowing that I am recording these things. I've recorded I've recorded up to like 30 hours. I have more, but it was on a phone that somebody wound up stealing. And I pray for them because God forbid they ever open up that phone and find what's really on it. But I have her talking to demons. I have her talking about. Well, I have her exactly feeding a baby to one of these demons. I have her being visited by an archdemon asking her why she has not partaken in the sweet meat. And, pretty much they're having a chat about an agreement that they have, and that she was given this demon to do certain things, and that he's kind of out of line. And I have this all recorded. And my thing was like, how is he not able to know that I'm recording this? Were they that blind, or was it? Because I believe that when I was in that situation where I caught her, and her cousin came in the thing, you're right. I believe that there was some kind of passing too. Now this thing followed me to my job.
So what on the recordings, right? What are some of the things that you heard her saying to these demons? Because I know you said you heard her having conversations about offering up a baby and all that.
Yes. Well, like I said, the day I was supposed to go down there, the week I was supposed to go down there, they were talking about how they were going to drug me. They were going to use sell my like kidneys, lungs, whatever on the market. And then I know this sounds weird, but I have it on record that she wanted to eat my brain.
Huh?
She literally says, "Save the brain for." She just saves the brain for me.
Hold on.
That's no joke.
Hold on. You said this is on the recording. You heard this where she said she wants to eat your brain.
Yep. I know it sounds sensational and whatnot, but that's not even the worst of it. Like I said, I have her serving a baby to this demon. And it's so bizarre. I actually sent you the second audio that I sent you was, I believe, the one where this happened.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, it's also it's about 30 to 40 minutes. So they talk about that. She serves the baby, and then down the line, they go into discussions on how they're going to drug me, just, sell my kidney on the open market, and then towards the end, she says, "I save the brain for me. I'm gonna, I want the brain for myself."
So did you actually end up going to meet her in person, or after that you
Hell
changed your mind?
no, hell no. It's crazy because I kept confronting her, and I was just like, I know what this is, like, but it got really bad where I was at. Like, it got really bad where I had to move out. I had to stay in the hotels for like 3 months to avoid any of my family getting messed with, because they were constantly telling me that things were happening in the house. So I figured that, let's just get me out of there. And but during that time, I can tell you, like, incidents where, like, I was visited by things that were just like, not. It would be essentially being visited by, like, okay, like a regional manager of some sort to come to inspect, like, why is there so much trouble going on here? So I was like, I thought I was going crazy.
So in other words, you're saying the boss demon came to visit you for check up on things.
Yeah, because this girl is exalted. She's very highly thought of in this coven, So they wanted. She was supposed to, I guess, do the job like she should have been done with the job a long time ago. This thing came and was like, okay, so you've used this amount of resources. It's almost like, the way I've looked at it is, it's almost like in a business of some sort. Like, you've used all these resources and whatnot, and this, you punch this much time on this project, and you have nothing to show for it. What's going on? Now she posed me as a threat, and made me out to be this thing that that I'm not. So I was actually, it sounds crazy, but I was actually visited by, like, some higher ups, and I never ran. And like I said, I had the birds telling me to flee, and it sounds crazy, but the birds were telling me, run. I would hear them go by my window, leave, and I'd always say, why would I leave? Why would I run? I know who I am. I love this girl. You know what I'm saying? I never did her any wrong. What's the problem here? She's posing me as a threat to this whatever she's doing, but I've never done that. I've only shown nothing but good towards her. So why would I run? So when these scenes came to see me, I was just like, well, here's my case. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on. So, do what you can, do what you want, but I'm good. I've done nothing wrong to this person.
Let me ask you this, my brother, and I want you to tell me: do you believe that you were used just for this thing to be transferred or passed on to you? Do you think that's what you were used for?
There could be something to it. I know that when I was staying in those hotels and just trying to, like, stay away from people and, like, not, bring them around my life was threatened daily. I almost succumbed a couple times to, whatever they had thrown upon me, because, like I said, when especially when I'm by myself is when these things really come out, So yeah, they came at me like tenfold. But like I said, I knew who I was. I stand on the side of God. So they really tried all they could, but they could not do it. They failed. And like I said, I've been pretty much this has been going on for 3 years now. Okay? 3 years.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, he actually said that it's with him. If he goes in the shower, anytime he's in the pool, anytime he's by water, he says that it affects him constantly. And I'm seeing a lot of persons, in the comment section, you're basically not believing what he's sharing and asking, like, if this could be real. But you have to bear in mind there may be a lot of persons who are non-believers in these things. Myself being one of them. Hold on, guess. Let me just get this out there, right?
Yes, sir.
No,
Yes, sir.
but what a lot of you also need to remember, though you may not be a believer, the firm believers in these things are there working and doing whatever it is they are doing. Now, if it's actually real and they are actually doing it, then it's actually affecting whoever they want it to affect, right? And I saw Natalie, big up yourself over there. Natalie says, fun and jokes aside, what would they achieve from doing all of this? No. Listening to what the caller shared so far, from my understanding, it sounds like he was served up. I don't know if Minister Smith would agree with me, but it sounds like he was served up because, obviously, whoever this person is, she is in connection with a very powerful demon, and she obviously have to serve up some people, as you heard him say, baby and all of that, and body parts and organs and stuff like that. So, for those of you who believe in those kind of things, it's possible. But continue, my brother. Sorry to cut you off for that long.
No. What you're saying makes point, because now me going to into a relationship with a Jamaican, I had no choice but to study the culture. If we were to have a child, my child's gonna be half Jamaican, so I need to know the culture of Jamaica. Now, upon looking into the culture of Jamaica, there's constantly children missing in areas. Now, I was not very emphatic about it, but then once upon learning about this and this thing attachment, I started delving deep into the Gleamer, what's the other one? Jamaican, what's the other paper? And I started going back into their what do you call it? Their old newspapers, because you can do that online. And I'm noticing that 27 children a month, this amount in Kingston, this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, if you are someone that partakes of this and they see you, when at some point they're going to have you harvest as well. So you can eat all you want, but at some point you got to bring it home too, because you got to show what you're worth. Now I'm thinking, like I said, I have her on audio talking to an archdemon. The archdemon is asking her, why have you not partaken of the sweet meat, and sometime you were so fond of it? Now, when I heard that, I was thinking okay, she's definitely harvested then, because if you were so fond of this, then you would have to have harvested at some point.
Mm-hmm. Right. All right. So Chantel says not. I'm just reading Chantel's comment. Guest. Chantel says not believing makes it sounds like nonsense. But I'm just listening. Keeping an open mind, and that's the thing, Chantel. You see, to those who don't believe in these kind of things, it would sound like nonsense. But the point I'm trying to make is, because there are those who firmly believe in those things, you have to keep an open mind, because those who firmly believe in it is there working and doing these things hard, right? So you have to keep an open mind and just think about what if that's actually the case, right?
To me, there is no what if. And like I said, my family thinks I'm crazy. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. But when I tell them, would you want to listen to what I have? And everybody tells me, oh no way, I don't want to listen to that. So it seems like I have proof. Mm-hmm. You want proof? I will give you proof. But I don't think you want to listen to it. I really don't think you want to listen to it.
Catherine asked a question as well in the comment section. You mentioned that you were under psychological care before. You did?
No.
You've never you never had any kind of psychological care or anything like that.
No.
All right.
No, sir. I have.
All right, Catherine. There
I can see that.
There's your answer, Catherine. You got your answer right there.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now,
it's very sensational. I understand. It sounds very sensational and whatnot. But like I said, I have over roughly 30 hours, I would say, all I would need was somebody with a good soundboard that could break down each track, take away the white noise, and you will hear it. I promise you that. You will hear it. And like I said, the people that I've actually played it for and listened to it, they got scared. They were scared.
All right, for those
You know?
of you asking and saying that he mentioned that she was on the line with us tonight during this conversation, you have to bear in mind that he's talking about spiritual powers here tonight, right? So if she is in league with spiritual powers and demons of that sort, then she would obviously have the power to get all up in his head and thing and let him hear whatever
These
she
things
wants
operate
to
on
hear.
frequency.
Yeah,
These things operate on frequencies. So this is what they do, right? This I've actually, like, you know, I never wanted to study demonology or whatever, but they operate on frequencies to whereas, let's say that you're at your house, you're operating on like a very mellow frequency. What they do is they come in and disrupt it. So now you bring about doubt, fear, you know, anxiety, and that's what they feed on. That's what they feed on. So I've actually, and I mean, said you can call me crazy or whatever, but I know what I know, and I saw what I saw. These things are not grand, and they're kind of very small. It's what you give them. They only operate through you. So if you have any kind of like skeletons in your closet, what you've done, and you know whatever you hold in you that's bad, they find out about that, and they use that against you. They use you against you. You know what I'm saying?
You mentioned that
They
you mentioned that these spirits constantly threaten your life.
Yes.
What are some of the threats that you get?
No, well, actually, in the beginning, they would come see me, and it would literally felt like somebody would reach into my chest and grab my heart, and was just like it was silly putty or clay, and they would just mash it. You know, I felt like I almost had a heart attack a couple times.
Leonie, he did say that you know she has a spiritual husband, and Minister Smith would love to speak with you. He's on the line, and he told me to pass his number on to you. All right, so I'm going to do that, Minister Smith. Now, my brother, we're about to wrap up, but I want you to tell me, are you still communicating with this young lady or not? I mean, do you still call her?
Yeah, this is not by choice. If I use it, I cannot. I've not had a relationship with a girl since this because, like you said, what happened earlier today. You know, the girl would call me and say, "You never answered your phone." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, I called you and I couldn't, for some reason, wouldn't get through. And I was like, "Huh, really?" Or if I get in contact with a girl, the phone will go out, or it'll be so disrupted that we can't really hear her talk. So the girls wind up just getting, you know, disgruntled, disparaged, and they just don't want to deal with it. Plus, it's crazy because whoever I'm talking on the phone, this thing will come and visit them. You know what I'm saying? And do whatever it does to them in the sleep.
Wait, you said
that's how
you said whoever you're talking to on the phone, that thing visits them? That's what you said?
Yes. Because also when me and her broke up, we called it off for a minute. I was just curious and see how many of these women do practices in Jamaica. You know, so I went back to the website, and lo and behold, I found her half sister there. Now I don't know if her sister knew who I was exactly, but I immediately contacted her, and I remember her telling my girlfriend telling me about her half sister. So I already knew who she was upon contacting me. Now, within a day of talking to this girl, there was something attached, and I have that on record as well. So I have we could spend like 3 or 4 days on this topic alone, and I could tell you stories that would just, I mean, it sounds so sensational, but I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. You know, this is really goes on, and I know I kind of understand why this is happening because when I was talking to my girl at the time in the beginning, she was telling me that she had been on more than one occasion sexually assaulted at least 5 times in Kingston. She almost got thrown into a van when she got, she almost got abducted like in daylight. So what I put together, well, in my mind, I was thinking like, what happened was like some of these women figured out they turned to something that they don't fully understand for protection against, somebody that would do them harm. You know, because the same thing goes down in my native country of Mexico. The same thing, practice witchcraft there for protection. So I kind of put that together. Like some of these women are in league with these things because of the way they're treated in their own country.
Since this situation, have you been able to try to date any other female, or
No,
it hinders that?
No, I would. It doesn't get very far. Like I said, it doesn't get past. Because you know how girls like to talk on the phone. It's not going to work, and I would not. I don't want to subject them to this because this thing is really. It's very. This thing comes to see.
Oh, it visits any females you talk to on the phone.
Yeah, pretty much. It disrupts my life all the time.
Oh, you had me. You had me worried for a second. When you said you visit anyone you talk to.
Well, I'm just saying, say your prayers because I gave you those audios.
Well, my brother,
so you're in.
I'm not really worried about it. I'm not really worried about
it. That's good.
I'm sure I'm covered.
I don't.
I'm sure I'm 100% covered.
I'm pretty sure you are. Like I said, as long as you know who you are and trust in God, then these things really don't have a chance. Mm-hmm. They're gonna try to thwart you. They're gonna tell you things you don't want to hear. But as long as you're true to yourself and you trust in God, then these things really don't have a chance. Because that's the only thing that's really saved me. I can't say that I'm like blessed or anything like that. I'm just but a vessel of God. You know what I'm saying? That was able to hear these things and call them out. Now this is not mine. This is a gift, I would say. Because,
no, Crystal,
like I said, I was honestly.
Crystal, he didn't say he wouldn't talk to the pastor. He said he didn't say that. Catherine is asking if you're willing to seek any kind of psychological help. I know you said nothing is wrong with you mentally, but she wants to know.
That's definitely my mother. That's definitely my mother. Because my mother just is like, yeah, okay, you need to go see a psychiatrist. But like I said, like I would tell anybody, I have audio. Mm-hmm. You want to listen to the audio? I'll play the audio for you. And you tell me. You know what I'm saying? So you can call me what you want, but hang out with me for a couple of days. I'll show you. Mm-hmm. No, and you're not gonna like what you hear. I'll tell you that right now.
No, he did send me some audio files, listeners. However, he says that when he plays the audio for persons, they are able to hear it, but the minute he shares the audio, it gets distorted.
Yeah,
for some reason.
If I send it, yeah. Today was a good incident. It was delayed for 45 minutes. And like you said, you said you usually do the same routine over, and for some reason it didn't work. Mm-hmm. Now, you can call that coincidence, but call it what you will. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, this is for real. This is for real. I'm not. Do I sound? If I sounded crazy or I sound like I was of mind and spirit, then I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have me on the show because you interviewed me before I came onto the show. Mm-hmm. You heard my story. And
well, everyone is welcome to my brother. I wouldn't call you crazy because, like I said, it's all about you wanting to share your situation, and there are those who definitely 100% believes in these type of things. Whether or not I believe in it, I'm not going to say because I don't believe it, I'm not going to give you the platform to share your situation because obviously you believe, and there are those who believes, right? So I have to be fair to you just as much. You understand? though I may not be a believer, I'm not going to put you down for what you believe is truly happening to you, my brother.
Right,
You know?
right. I totally understand. No, believe me, I have everybody thinks I'm crazy. Everybody thinks I'm out of my mind, out of my gore. But like I said, I always tell them this listen to what I have. And everybody says, nope. I don't want to hear that. And it's like, okay, then, if you don't want to hear the evidence, then I can't, you can't just call me crazy. Because there is some, I mean, even if you can't hear word for word, there is something there. She is talking to something, whether it's static or not. She's having a conversation with this thing. Whether you call it a static or, whatever. She's having a conversation.
So when you heard on the recording that they were planning to drug you and sell your organs and this and that, right? Did you attempt to cease all communication with her at that point, or what happened after that?
Well, I confronted her. About it, and she vehemently denied. Pretty much probably a lot of your listeners think I'm crazy. There was, that's what she would say. You're crazy. You know what you're talking about. Why are you trying to ruin us? And like I said, she is a sociopath to the T. Like she'll tell you straight to your face, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she lives by that. But I have on record this thing saying her name. Now, how do you explain that? So if this thing's saying your name and you say you have nothing to do with it, then it must be me, right? I must be hearing these things, but I'm not, because I have audio. I have actual audio of this going on. Like I said, all it would take was a good sound engineer. I mean, because I can hear it, but most people can't. And all you would need to do is just break it down. Have a good sound engineer break this down, and you would hear it crystal clear, because a sound engineer would be able to decipher all that extra noise. You would cut all that stuff out, and you would hear a conversation. I promise you that.
All right, my brother, we're out of time, but Minister Smith is on the program and he has a lot of experience with these things, and he's saying that he can assist you. So I'm going to pass your number on to him and his to you as well, so that you can communicate with him. Awesome. All right, he says he can help you and he wants to explain to you what's going on. I'm going to allow you to talk off here. I want to thank you so much for being brave enough to share this situation with us tonight. A lot of persons here definitely understand what you're going through based on what they're saying in the comments, and obviously you will have those who are non-believers as well, who's going to view you as crazy or with a mental illness. Obviously you're going to get that. But nonetheless, thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. And I do hope Minister Smith can actually help you, or as Catherine is suggesting, if it gets to the point where you need to seek a little bit of psychological advice as well. But Catherine is saying that seeking psychological help doesn't mean that you're crazy. She's pointing that out as well. She's saying that doesn't mean that you're crazy at all, but just speak to someone. All right, my brother.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk again, because I'll definitely need to find out if Minister Smith actually helps you, right? And then I'll share that with the viewers in the future to come. All right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing, my brother. Good night.
Good night.
All right, Unstoppable family. There you have it. We are going to wrap up right now, but tonight's one is a very interesting one. Those of you who are, like I said, non-believers, probably saying nonsense. But we have to keep an open mind, because the world where we live in, I've come to understand that anything is possible. Honestly. And you heard me say it. I'm not a believer in this whole dopey and demon and stuff like, and obia and voodoo and stuff like that. Though I entertain the conversations, I listen to those type of conversations, I listen to those type of experiences, I do have my own personal belief, but like I mentioned to the caller earlier, I would never put anyone down because I am not a believer in those things. I've always said it on the program that I am one that always says believe, kill, and believe, cure. Minister Smith probably would have said unstoppable and so it work. But that's always been my belief. Right, and that's why you heard me mention it to the caller. I said, listen, I'm not worried, even if that thing try to visit me because we had this conversation tonight, it not go away. It not go reach me because the minute it come, my door don't slam in my face. You understand? So that's how I view it. But everyone is welcomed on this platform. If you have an experience that you want to share, the platform welcomes you. You don't have to be Jamaican because that's the narrative. A lot of persons think that this is a Jamaican only show. No, it's not. It doesn't matter where you are from. If you have an experience and you want to share it, you can reach out right here and you are welcomed. All right. The number to send a WhatsApp message to is 754-317-5747. It doesn't matter what experience you want to share, as long as you have one. Send a WhatsApp message and simply say, Unstoppable, I would like to share my story. And I would give you a call back. It's that simple. All right. Now, Minister Smith says, I'm a father over man. These things are real. Well, like I said, Minister Smith, I know it's real, and to the believers of those things, it's going to be real. You understand? But for those of us who don't believe in them kind of thing, nothing can tell me say real. Though I know that those who indulge in those things exist. I do know that. All right, but yeah. It not gonna affect those who don't believe in it. That's my belief that. All right. Viewers, thank you so much to those of you who sent in a contribution once again. It's always appreciated. Thanks to those of you who actually shared out the program tonight. That is appreciated as well. And if you notice, I come on tonight and I did not ask anybody to click the like button because I stop do that. You understand? I am done with begging anybody to click the like button. If you like the program, then click the like button. If you support the platform, then click the like button. If you like the show, then click the like button. That is just how I'm viewing it these days. Now, come on and beg nobody if you click the like button, which is only fair, right? Yeah, done with that. All right. So, family, tonight is the first return of the show because I was off for about 2 weeks. So Wednesday night will be the next program. So make sure that if tonight is your very first time here and you did not click that subscribe button yet, or if you're watching on Facebook and you did not click the follow button as yet, please click the follow button and click the subscribe button over there on YouTube. Make sure to turn on all notifications. So once we go live, you will get notified. All right. Now, Janice says, good night, Unstoppable. You really need to talk to me. Janice, send me a WhatsApp if you haven't already. Did you? And if you did, I apologize because for the 2 weeks that I was off, I really wasn't going through the phone like that. So if you did, I apologize. But just send me a message right now. And once I come off the line, I will respond to you. All right. So the number is 754-317-5747. Like I said, everyone is welcome to share your experience or your story. I really don't like to call it a story because your experience is real. But, for lack of a better word, like I said, just send a message and say, Unstoppable, I would like to share my story. It's that simple. All right. Nothing more than that. No. Like I said, big up to all the newbies here for the first time tonight. All right. You are totally appreciated. All right. Natalie says, great comeback. Thank you so much, Natalie. I mean, most people probably are going to say, boy, that show you tonight wasn't all that because they don't believe in it. But, it was still a good one tonight. Should I say enjoyed it? Yes, I can say I enjoyed tonight's program. It was very interesting, informative, and a whole lot more tips. All right. So, all who get coward and scared tonight, go read on the Bible and go on the bed. All right. Family, I will see you all Wednesday night. No, lie me I tell. Make sure right now. Let's go. Unstoppable family, start marching out if you have your badge beside your name. All right. Now remember, if you have not signed up and get your badge, I'm officer big up to Joanne. Joanne signed up recently and got her badge. Joanne Love More. Big up yourself, Joanne. Thank you so much. And not only that, Joanne signed up over there on Facebook and get her badge. And she signed up on YouTube and get her badge. So, I have to big up Joanne, right? Joanne Love More, much love to you. Thank you so much, all right? If you have not signed up yet to get your badge, sign up and get your badge, all right? All right, just like how you see Sharon and march out with our badge over there on YouTube. Yes, Facebook crew, sign up and get your badge. It's much appreciated. Shanali is marching out, rocking her badge over there on Facebook. Facebook crew, if you have your badge, march out with the flames. YouTube crew, if you have your badge, march out with the custom emoji. And over here on YouTube, we got Sharon marching out with a super VIP. All right, we got Joy Blackwood marching out with the loyalty star. All right, you know, say loyalty star is the highest badge. All right, and only a few persons reach loyalty star so far. All right, we got Tappers. Big up yourself, Tappers. Hey, me nah stop calling you Tappers, you know. Though I know the word is topaz. No, I know, right? I still tappers for me. All right, Tappers is marching out, rocking an extreme VIP badge. Much love to you, Tappers. All right, officials marching out. Sweet like that is in the building. Sweet like that, you know. Say I want me to go call you and cuss you and say you dash move, but me see you tonight, so me not about to cuss you. Is marching out, rocking her extreme VIP badge. Over here we got Mina Unstoppable in the building, rocking an extreme VIP badge as well. Natalie, I march out over there on Facebook, but Natalie, you need to get your badge. You don't have your badge yet. Look pan Shanali name Natalie, you're going to see a turquoise color badge. That's the badge right there that shows that you are an official. All right, Natalie. So sign up and get your badge. All right, let's go. Officials march out right now. I did say Sharon. Yes, march out if you know you have your badge by your name right now. If you notice, look on the people them will have them badge. You notice their name is in green, so them stand out different. You understand what I say? And they have their badges beside their name. See, like Yazzie just marched out a while ago, and Yazzie is rocking a golden VIP badge. All right, that's what we are talking about. We know say Oral Blake a rocking badge as well, but you don't know Oral thing already. When him dep on a different computer, him tablet or whatever, him badge not show for some reason. But Oral a march out as well. And then over here we got none other than Kizzy a rock her badge as well. Big up yourself, Kizzy. Kizzy they a loyalty star as well. Amira is in the building, and Amira is rocking a golden VIP as well. Much love to you, Amira. Jen is in the building, and Jen is rocking her badge as well. All right, and it's a super VIP. All right, much love to you, Jen. All right, where the Facebook crew there? Me want my badge. Marisa, then sign up and get your badge now, Marisa. It's easy, you know. It's easy, Marisa. Sign up and get your badge. All right, all you have to do is click the little turquoise icon right down next to where you type me want my badge. Look to the right side of that and you will see the little turquoise icon. Click that and sign up and become an official and get your badge. All right, Marisa, it's that simple. All right, family. It look like those are all the officials right there. Oh, a lie. I do know that Catherine has her badge as well. Much love to you, Catherine. Catherine is rocking her badge as well. All right, Catherine Charles. It look like those are all the officials right there marching out. So I'm not going to stay here too long because it's done after 11 minutes. My yard. Family, thank you so much. I will see you all on Wednesday night for another awesome program. All right, bless up, much love, and I will see you all soon.
Feel the music, 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 feel the music,
Good night to you, Erica. Much love. Thank you for tuning in from Toronto.
Move your shoulders, feel the music, move your waistline, move your shoulders,
Music got me feeling like them way up high, sipping martinis and blue slushes with umbrellas up high. I like dancing, you like dancing, put my feet up high.